Alright, so what we have here is the Yamaha P125 keyboard, and that's going to be sitting on top of the L125 wood stand. And coupled with that is going to be the LP1B, that is the 3-pedal unit for it. And our bundle here, we're going to include the PKBB1. It's a portable and a size adjustable keyboard bench. Alright, so let's get to opening this thing. Frame is, whoops. Let's do that. Alright, so first things first, we're going to open up the stand, which is the L125. Let's see what's in this thing. Alright, so opening the box, what we see right on top is a thin piece of cardboard to help protect the actual stand from any sort of shipping mishaps, or if you use a knife like I did to open the box. That's cool. Alright, so sitting right up on top here, basically instructions on how to put it together. Whoop. These are the two legs that come nicely wrapped in recyclable foam. And underneath that we have the long bottom back plate thing. And then in here in this middle styrofoam pouch we have some of the hardware to help put it together. So what this stand comes with, not only the screws to put it together, it also comes with the 4 mounting screws that you'll need to actually mount the keyboard onto this. There's some screws. Yes, we've got extra feet. These are going to be screwed onto the bottom of the feet. Basically it extends the back out a little bit so it doesn't become so hippy in the back. And these should be the metal brackets to actually mount the keyboard onto the side of the legs. And there's some loose screws. Thanks, Yamaha. There. Screws. Alright, so everything unboxed. We've got basically the one leg there, the back plate, back piece, whatever you want to call it, the other leg there. And then we've got the mounting brackets, the anti-fall feet extenders, bag of hardware. The other brackets are over there. So a thing to note on the back piece here is there are these 4 mounting screw holes, and those are going to be for the 3-pedal unit. So I'll kind of walk through as I'm building this, that this will have to be oriented in the correct way. As it sits right now with those, it's actually backwards. So let's get to building this thing. So the only tool that you should need for this whole thing is a Phillips screwdriver. So step 1, what we're going to do is we're going to mount the mounting brackets onto the sides of the legs. These are the brackets that the keyboard will actually sit on. So noticing these brackets, there's 3 holes that are offset, and the other side has 2 holes. The keyboard will sit on the side with 2 holes. The 3, as you can see, line right up with that. One thing to note is after opening up the bag of screws, essentially, there are going to be 4 longer ones and a bunch of the shorter ones. The 4 longer ones are going to be used for mounting the keyboard onto the stand, and all the other ones are going to be used for all of our other connections that we will need. Alright, let's get this bracket screwed in. Let's do the same thing for the other side. So we got both mounting brackets mounted. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and actually put on the anti-fall feet. So what those are going to replace, on the bottom you've got these little plastic nubs here that sit on the actual bottom of the stand, and we are going to be replacing actually the ones that sit in the back with those anti-fall brackets. So the way you can tell which way the back is on this is the side that has the screw holes for the back piece. So this is the back, so that's the side. On the other one, that's the back. So we're going to be replacing that. A thing to note on these anti-fall brackets is on the bottom there's actually some felt feet. I don't know if you guys can see some of that, but there's felt right on here. So it actually helps it on any sort of ground for a little bit extra padding as well. And actually, as the instructions say, hang on to these. these extra screws, and these extra plastic feet, just in case you want to put them back on or you're moving it and you want it actually like right up flush against the back of a wall. Since this being the back of the keyboard here, the keyboard doesn't stick out a terrible ton on the top there. So if you want it really flush against a wall, then you can always either not put these on or remove these if you're going to put it somewhere else. Right, so the next step is we're going to mount the back piece onto both sides of the legs here. And then that will be the stand complete. And then next will be the beast. Doo, 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 doo. Sorry, I'm like alone here at the store after hours. Right, and as I mentioned before, this is the right leg. That'll be the left-hand side. And so as this thing will get mounted, actually if you look at this side is finished, this side is not. So the unfinished side goes down, and then on the back is going to be the 4 mounting brackets for the 3-pedal unit. So that being the right leg, this is going to sit just like that. Alright, so technically this is easier with 2 people, but it's just me, myself, and I here, so the 3 of us are going to tackle this by ourselves. You can do it with 1 person, it's just easier if you have an extra set of hands. The completed stand. So this is the back, so those 3 bolts, boom, boom, and on the back there, ba-da-doom. Let's open this thing up. Alright, so opening it up, what we have is a convenient thin strip of cardboard to prevent any knives going through to actually hurting the product. So, good job Yamaha, thinking ahead. Keyboard, packaged in with some styrofoam. So we'll get the keyboard pulled out and we'll take a look at seeing all the goodies that are underneath it. Alright, so under the keyboard, basically what we have in here, the music rest should be in here. Lo and behold, 1 music rest. And in this little pocket should be a PA150, PA150 being the power supply. This is what powers the unit. Also in the box is a foot switch sustain pedal. Now, since we're coupling this with the LP1, that guy over there, which is the 3-pedal unit, we will actually not be using this. So if you do end up getting a whole bundle that's got the 3-pedal unit, you can just kind of throw this just in case you need it. But it's just a simple foot switch with a 1/4-inch jack for the sustain. Alright, so let's mount this on the stand. Ta-da! Alright, so crawling under this, what we see is this is the bottom of the keyboard, this is the stand, and so here's that metal mounting plate that we mounted, and depending on how well we can see up in here, but this is just kind of sitting there, so we'll end up wanting to line up both of these holes and both of these mounting screws. But these are where your 4 screws are going to go, so one there, and all the way across to the side. Focus. So you can see just by setting it on, we're a little off. One goes in there, and the other one will get lined up right in there. So let's get this thing screwed down. This won't be the most glamorous angle of me, so bear with me. Also for this, we'll be using these longer screws that came with the wood stand. So keyboard's mounted and it's screwed down. I'm going to go ahead and make sure the stand is nice and even and square and tighten up all the rest of the screws. Alright, so next up is going to be the 3-pedal unit. This is the LP1. So let's go ahead and open this thing. Alright, so taking a look inside the LP1 box. Again, got some cardboard coming in handy as my knife nicked it. So that's what it's there for. More instructions, screws. And these are the 2 bars. So if anyone was familiar with the previous version of the P125, which would be the P115, they ended up changing how the 3-pedal unit mounts. Before, on the P115 that came with the L85, yeah, I had all these numbers memorized. So it was a P115 with an L85 bench, or an L85 stand. and LP5A was the 3-pedal unit for that. It was a big long board that went across the bottom within the 3 pedals in the middle. So they've changed this design to actually be more like a concert grand piano. So you have these metal rods that will sit vertically. Let's pop this out. And lo and behold, there's our 3-pedal unit with cable attached. Alright, so these are all the pieces you get with the 3-pedal unit. You get the 3 pedals themselves, you get your 2 mounting arms, and then a handful of screws. There's 4 long ones, 4 short ones, and then you get these, which, again, Yamaha's coming through with the cable management. These are little peel and stick self-adhesive cable clips. So that'll come in handy when we actually will run this cable up these arms, up and over, and then up to the keyboard. It also comes with these. These are little protective plastic things. You've got these arms. On the top of the arms, they've got these squidgy bits, and those will actually sit up underneath the keyboard. And then these sit into that guy like so. So the other one will be there as well. But those 4 mounting brackets that were on the back of that back plate, what ends up going to happen is those will sit there. The long screws will go through everything, through the bars, into those mounting holes that are on the 4 that are on the back there. These are just protective strips to help protect the metal. And the reason why these are slotted is so that the whole pedal unit can shift up and down, depending on if you're putting it on an uneven floor from where the feet sit. You can actually adjust the 3-pedal unit up and down depending on the situation. So let's quickly put this thing together. Alright, so the 3-pedal unit, here's the back of the keyboard. So there's those 4 mounting points. So it just will literally sit right up against this. One thing to note here is there's not a ton of clearance with the lengths of these bolts as they go through and you're trying to fish and find. But the bolt does not stick out the other side very far since this board is not thick. And so the mounting points are actually only a couple threads deep. Alright, that is one 3-pedal unit installed. And depending on situation, I like to leave them loose so that the whole unit can actually slide up and down a little bit. This way, because at least our floor here, underneath this vinyl fiberglass flooring is just concrete, and it's not entirely even all the way around. So where this is going to go between the 2 endpoints there and the middle, it's a little wavy. So I like to leave this a little loose so that when you pick it up, it just kind of drops. And then when you set it back down, it will kind of sit to wherever this wants to lay on the floor. Once this is all the way down on the floor, then you cinch these up. That's what I do, at least. And since we're here, let's go ahead and route this cable up and on the back of the I/O power auxiliary out pedal unit right there. If you're going to use a sustain pedal, that's where the sustain would go. Is that 1/4-inch jack, but we'll be using the pedal unit. There's also USB to host. So this is where you would interface any sort of USB device, whether that be iPhone, tablet, computer, what have you. Alright, cable's routed. They give you 3 of these little clips. I tend to put one there, and I tend to follow as the cable was packaged, it's already got these little bends in it. I just tend to kind of use that to my advantage. So the cable comes down there. I usually throw one there, kind of in the middle, and then just kind of down at the bottom. I like doing it this way because it gets this out of the way once we go and tighten those, and it just can kind of sit right back there once it goes. And this enables it, except for this little bit right here. Everything else is totally invisible when you're on the front side. And can't forget the music rest and the power adapter. Actually, we'll need that. So, music rest. There's this long, thin slot right on the top edge, and that's exactly where that's going to sit. Just give it a nice firm push. And boom, music rest is in. Alright, so for the power adapter, the PA150, cool. So, wall plug, spool of cable, and power. And this just gets plugged in right on the back side of the keyboard, right down there. So, poink. And then it just gets plugged into the wall. Alright, there it is. It's in its location. Sitting right in front of a P125, actually. But I forgot something. We need something to sit on. Let's do that. Right, for this we'll be using the PK-PP1. This is their portable keyboard bench. It is height adjustable, which is a kind of a cool bonus feature, but it's also super portable and lightweight. So let's open this. Set this thing up, it's super easy. We're just going to unscrew these until they back out all the way, because all these do are they're essentially stops. So as this will unfold, as you'll see, lift this up. So that bar will slide in there, and then these just screw down to effectively hold it in place. It doesn't actually contact it. It just acts as a stop so that that bar can't come out. And so for it to be height adjustable, just pop out that middle sprocket and you can change where the X meets. That's one awesome keyboard bench. Alright, so there's the whole completed bundle, including the bench. So, it's plugged in. We're going to turn it on. Cool, the light turns on. Turn the volume up. So it just defaults it to the regular piano setting, and let's see what we get. Alright, we got a working keyboard. And I'll test to make sure the 3-pedal unit's working as well. One P125 built.